Hello, my name is Edwin.
And I'm Jeff.
And this is Frantic. Welcome to Tilted, Not Stirred. Wow, 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 wow. I have that.
Then why'd you do it with your mouth?
Because I'm a noob. I'm still learning, all right? I'm still learning. I'm getting the hang of it.
So I made a mixture. I made a drink. It's 2 parts Capri Sun. And by 2 parts, I mean 2 Capri Suns. And,
Okay.
and 1 whole LaCroix can. Tastes like shit, but I'm still drinking it because I made it.
I don't know what possessed you to make such a awful sounding drink, but what puzzles me more is that you're still drinking it.
I had the ingredients at my disposal. I had to use them.
Why not just drink like the Capri Suns individually and
And then have
then throw away the LaCroix?
In my defense, I was like, hey, maybe I taste like fizzy Capri Sun. What's not to like, right?
Okay.
I mean, I hadn't had a Capri Sun in years, and it was just there. So I was just like, you know what? Seems like a good idea.
to mix with the LaCroix.
When you guys wash dishes, does your mom or anybody put like bleach in that solution where you're washing dishes?
Cue the intro.
Wait.
Hey, my hands smell like fucking bleach.
Y'all put bleach in your dishwashing solution?
Not dishwashing, because, you know, we do it manually.
Yeah, well, you're the dishwasher.
Yeah, but makes your hands smell pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever washed dishes with bleach.
You just use just Dawn soap, man. It's hard on that grease, but it's soft on the hands. You know what I'm saying?
Like those ducks.
Bleach is, I don't know. Bleach just makes everything crisper, you know?
What?
Yeah, you ever like use
You ever
egg?
drink bleach? Yeah.
Yeah, you ever drink bleach, bro?
No,
Gets
I've
all
eaten a
over
couple
your
Tide
hands?
Pods, but no.
It's
bleach.
summertime and nothing just hits. Nothing's
Nothing-
crispier than the taste of.
An ice cold, refreshing cup of Clorox.
All right, wait. No bullshit, though. No bullshit. When you have Hydro Flask or something that you use all the time, right? Like water
Okay.
and stuff. When you wash it with just pure soap, you know, it's not gonna do it right. You gotta hit a little bit of bleach in there.
What?
You know, you wash it all
You
off.
could use vinegar.
And it tastes clean. It tastes so clean.
Okay.
Maybe
Well,
in your head you've associated clean with bleach, so what you're tasting is bleach, but you're just, man, this is clean.
I am concerned. Genuinely concerned now.
It's just clean water, bro. Shit. All
This
right,
tastes
cool.
very clean. I don't think clean should have a taste.
It is July 25th. This beautiful Monday night.
10 p.m.
Tilted, not stirred.
After dark.
We out here.
After dark, and today we're gonna talk about daddy issues.
Daddy.
You got a sexy sound effect over there, Frantic?
A sexy sound effect. Oh shit.
Just play
Wait.
something.
Give me a second. I could find something.
He's fumbling.
Ooh-wee. That's so.
That's the
Okay.
sound of all the dads running away and leaving us abandoned children.
Going out for those pack of cigarettes and not coming back.
Yes, today the episode will be about daddy issues. But before we get to that, a word from our sponsor. No, I'm just kidding.
McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Hey,
We
break-ons.
We have a little bit of news here. So, the first bit of news, the Choco Taco. You guys ever have a Choco Taco before?
Like once in my life.
It is, it is a Klondike product. It is ice cream. Well, the Choco Taco is gone. It's done. It's another Twinkie situation here where the company is basically trimming down on their product offering, and well, the taco shaped cones are now being discontinued.
It's a sad day for Americans. It really is.
You know what? Okay, I'm gonna. You know, I love ice cream, but I'm gonna be real here. I wouldn't do much of anything for a Klondike bar, honestly. You can have that shit.
Bro, have you ever had an Oreo Klondike bar?
All yours, bro.
Yeah, the
Klondike bars.
basic Klondike bars or whatever. But once you get to the flavored ones, they'll start hitting.
Oh
better.
yes, those are
Dude,
good.
an Itza is like 15 times better than a Klondike bar.
It's two different types of ice creams, man.
It's still like a fucking, like a package that you put in your mouth.
Well,
know what I'm saying?
Edwin's like drinking bleach and negative on Klondike. I don't even know anymore, dude. I don't know.
It's hard to take the guy who drinks bleach seriously. Come on, guys.
Hey, fuck you, dude.
It tastes
The
clean.
Choco
Yeah,
tacos. Have you guys ever purchased the Choco Taco? Is this just everyone's like being sad for no reason because no one ever buys these, or what? What's up? Because I've never really had one before.
I've
think
had
it's
one
just-
like once or twice, but it wasn't anything to write home about.
It's one of those comfort things, you know. You go to the paletero, the one with the little push cart, and you
Uh-huh.
always see they got the Choco Taco. You know, you don't get it, but you see that they have it, and it's like, yeah,
That-
it's a staple.
That shit was always too bougie, Like Choco Tacos were the most expensive thing on the
Yeah,
in
it was
the
like
car.
$1.50, maybe $2 now with inflation.
Well, it's actually probably like $3 or $4 now with inflation.
You know, I was partial to the strawberry shortcakes myself.
Ooh, those are yeah. Mhm.
I always got more bang for my buck, and it was the bomb pop for me.
Like the
It
push
was-
pops.
It just felt like
The
like
bomb
those,
pop.
the massive bomb pops that look like just like rockets, or they had like
Giant
different.
dicks.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah, the rocket pops.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. So the Choco Taco is gone. So, well, discontinued, not gone yet. So if you are a fan of the Choco Taco,
Run out and buy one.
run out and buy some at the store because yeah, they're discontinued, so they're gonna be gone. I don't know if they're gonna come back. I don't know if the Choco Taco doesn't ring the same as a Twinkie to me. Like the Twinkie was saved. I don't know. Was it a publicity stunt in the end? The discontinuing of the Twinkie?
No, because
I
didn't they
think
go out
they
of
got
business?
bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got bought out by somebody else, and they brought them back.
Oh well, there it is. So I don't know if the Choco Taco will be revived, but there it is.
Well, I mean, I know we don't do challenges, but it'd be a nice challenge to go out there and eat a Choco Taco.
One last time.
Yeah, or for the very first time in some occasions.
All right, bet. Yeah, let's look for a Choco Taco.
All right,
right.
that sounds doable.
Yeah. All right, let's to the next piece of news here.
Whiplash.
This might just be a nothing burger, but the reason why I'm bringing up this little bit of news is mostly just to have a conversation around the topic. So Target is the massive store. What would you even call it? Because it's so many different things.
It's a
mega
department store.
Department store. So they are raising their minimum wage to as much as $24 an hour, and the sad thing about that is that it's to as much as $24 an hour, so it's not really like, it's just one of those like PR things and all that. But so currently they pay $15 an hour starting wage, but now they're saying that
if you stick with it enough, you can eventually get to 24.
Yeah, so they're saying that they're going to begin paying workers from a range of 15 to 24. So in other states, because the minimum wage in California is at 15, I think, 14.
I think
Around
it's
there?
getting there. Yeah. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's actually there yet.
So I guess in like other states and stuff, this could be a pay raise, and to others, it's just gonna be kind of like a whatever type of thing. And employees are thinking that most of these raises are really gonna go to like the distribution centers and the warehouses and all that. But yeah, so Walmart raised its minimum wage to $12 last year, and Costco has raised its minimum wage to $17. The federal minimum wage is $7.25 per hour. The reason why I bring this up is, how do you guys feel about the minimum wage going up?
It's a good thing, dude. I mean, inflation's gone up, what, almost 10% this year? And yet, the minimum wage has stayed the same for I don't know how long.
Yeah, I probably should have looked up the statistic on that, but wages are definitely not keeping up with inflation.
Our rent went up $300 and nothing's changed. You know?
It's shittier, if anything.
Yeah, it's fucking shittier. You know, it's like, what the fuck changed? Nothing. And we're out here just paying $300 more.
Yeah, we got $160 raise on our rent, and it's tough times because on one hand it's like, well, the demand, like if you're looking at it purely from the demand, like a supply and demand type of thing, and you can see why they're able to get away with raising prices, but it's fucking trash. It's trash, and I don't really know what we can do about it. I'm not super versed on like rent laws or people have argued if controlling rent, like if the state controls rent, like how that'll negatively or positively affect things. I am not versed in that, and I haven't done my research on it, so I can't make a comment on it. But
dude, make a comment on it. That's what this podcast is about, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, it's just uninformed. Like, I don't know if we can do anything about it. Just what I do know is that it's a shit situation where we have inflation, and a lot of housing options are just not viable anymore to the masses. Let's say so.
100%.
You also have. I saw another article. This isn't really like, I didn't fully look at it, but basically talking about how like these big corporations are just investors with deep pockets are buying out like mobile home lots or whatever they can get their hands on in terms of real estate, because they buy it out and then they're able to set the new rent basically. And yeah, we know that those rents are going up, so that's unfortunately, it's a current business move that's to the detriment of a lot of people.
That's so shitty. Oh my god.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. As much as I've defended capitalism, I feel like I'm teetering, dude. Like I'm starting to actually resent it a little. And anyways, it's super frustrating when it's all about profits and not about the well-being of society.
It never has been.
It's never been.
That's where like I used to defend it so much, and now it's just like, fuck, man, this system really does suck. maybe Bernie was onto something.
There's plenty of room in our boat, dude.
Dude, maybe Bernie was onto something, dude. I should have felt the burn.
Dude, I've been listening to a lot of Rage Against the Machine, like an insane amount. And like the classics are gonna be fucking great, right? But their other music is fucking insanity. It's like really good. They have a song called Revolver where, you know, the mom gets abused in the relationship, so she kills the husband. And the chorus of that song is Revolver. Don't good mothers make good fathers. And I'm like, holy shit. It's like, you know what? Like, they don't need you, bro. You better get your shit right. And if you don't, you're cut out, you know? And it's like, there's that one. There's another one where, like, his son comes home and he's talking about the history that he learned of the United States. And he's just like, what the fuck is all this? Like, you know? So it's kind of interesting how they just talk about like censorship and like media. They talk about you break your leg, you're stuck, you know, Big Farm sedates the fuck out of you and you're dependent on drugs that they sell you. It's not about your well-being. There's nowhere you can hide. You know, they'll come for you with the prescribed drugs, and it's kind of like, holy shit.
Yeah, dude. But I mean, when I was going through my System of a Down marathon a couple of weeks back, and like really listening to the lyrics of like their all their albums, and like you can't even say a progression, because sure, the music was a little more commercial, whereas like it's a little easier to hear for like a wider audience. Like the message was just still so like, at first it's just like, you know what, I like System of a Down and they can trash the US, but you know, whatever, it's fine, I still like the System of a Down. Now it's like, dude, they're a lot of shit that they're saying, man. It's just
These
like,
guys were onto something.
I mean, I might be, I feel like I'm always late on the fucking boat on things. Like I'll go on one side and then I'll go on the other side, and it just feels like I'm being pulled in both directions right now. And I don't know. Oh no. I wish I had some guidance.
The fact that you're questioning your held beliefs, the beliefs that you had before, that's like, it's always good to question, even when you're entrenched in the other side.
Yeah.
It's always good to look at the other perspectives, and it makes you a more well-rounded person.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of content that basically just trashes like the right leaning shit that I used to like prescribe to heavily, and it's just like, holy shit, this is hilarious. Because they're basically, and this will go more into like the topic that we're for today's episode, but they're talking about how like the message that the right gives to a lot of men nowadays, it's based like one of their main tactics in order to get more folks onto their side is basically giving them like some sort of like father figure in a sense, and that men nowadays are lost and they need guidance, and that you have like these gurus and these quote unquote hustlers, and you know these self-help people that are kind of just brainwashing people, and people just want answers at the end of the day, and it's a lot easier to listen to people tell you the answers than to you have to really think about your situation, the shit you believe in, and really try to come up with an answer that's you.
So people want to feel included, and those kind of programs make you feel like you're part of something as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're out there trying to better yourself. You're out there trying to make money. You're out there trying to pick up more girls. I don't know, whatever the fuck these things are selling you, like. That's what you subscribe to.
Yep. The manosphere is a wild place, but let's get into the topic, and we'll eventually touch on these things again. But so today the topic's about daddy issues.
And for those wondering how we got here, listen to last week's episode.
last week's episode was a doozy.
But so yeah, daddy issues. We mostly hear this term or this phrase used more for the female gender, and it's usually you can see it whenever women date, for example, a very old man or just older men in general, or like they have a very attached personality to men. And things like that, and the joke is always, oh, you have daddy issues because maybe your dad didn't love you or didn't hug you enough, or maybe your dad left you, and now you're looking for a father figure, sure. And but today we're gonna talk about how daddy issues look for men. So I kind of touched on this a little bit already. So daddy issues can come in a myriad of different family scenarios. So you have the absentee father, you have the father that's emotionally or physically abusive, you have the father that's mean with his emotions and doesn't give you enough love, you have the extremely overbearing father that just is on top of your shit all the time and doesn't let you just, be you, I guess. And then the last one here that's in this article is basically where the father treats the mother poorly. And so, as a boy, because this is more geared towards men and I guess boys, is that when you see these situations and your father figure, if they give you a shit representation of what it is to be a man, or let's say that they just leave and you have to kind of invent for yourself what it means to be a man, or maybe people, your uncles, your mom maybe might tell you what it is to be a man. You, at the end of the day, you end up having some sort of like coping. You have ways to cope with the situation because it could either be very overwhelming or you're just overall misguided and you think that this is the way. And then you later on, you hit a wall and somebody tells you like, yo, this is not right. So these are a bit of the habits or the signs, if you will, of how daddy issues can be, what's the word?
Portrayed or
reflected. Yeah, sure. So this is how I don't know. I've read this list and some of it's like, okay, well, I don't know how that would work. But anyway, so the first one is you're aloof. So this one's a little weird. It says this shows up by how you always choose to focus your mind on things other than what's going on in your relationships. You miss cues. Basically, the cue's trying to tell you that your relationship needs attention and that you're kind of just, generally just aloof. Like just,
You just don't give a fuck. Yeah, you just don't give a fuck what's happening in front of you.
Yeah. So, do you guys ever feel aloof? We're going to diagnose ourselves with daddy issues tonight.
No, I don't think being aloof is one of the things that
you will have daddy
from.
issues tonight.
See, when I hear the word aloof, it takes me back to that 70s show episode where Hyde is teaching Jackie to be aloof. And you just got to go, that's cool. Whatever.
So I don't think I'm generally
aloof.
like
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So your partner may always complain about being last in your list of priorities, and she is the most neglected of the people in your life.
Hell no.
All right. Cool. I have been
aloof in
accused of placing my partners last on my list of priorities. So not currently, but in the past. So maybe, I don't know. So okay, there it is. You're aloof. There it is.
What kind of things would take priority over? Like, let's say what?
Like, I'm assuming like friends, your personal interests, just literally everything, and then your girlfriend or your spouse is like bottom of the barrel.
That's horrible.
Well, there it is, man. So the next one, your relationship priorities are warped. So you value your relationship with your mother or your sisters more than your spouse instead of realizing and striking the right relational balance between the two important women in your life. What do y'all think about that one? It's kind of like the same thing as aloof.
Yeah, you value everybody else but your significant other, right?
Yeah, but now it's kind of like more geared towards you already have females in your life.
Females? That's not women.
Well, like blood. Women.
Just women, yeah.
Women in your life that's blood related. And you're selecting them over your partner. I guess.
That sounds like some Sigmund Freud shit, you know?
I don't get how an abusive father would lead to that as well. That sounds like it would be like an overly attached mother, you know?
Yeah. Some Oedipus Rex complex or some bullshit.
The example here is that you may blow off helping your wife or your partner to go and be there for your mother, yet there are other people that can be there for her. So the way that I'm looking at this one is, okay, so if your dad's a dirtbag, or if your father is an absent father, then you have like this attachment to your mother where you'll now become a mama's boy. Well, I'm assuming this is what this means.
Yeah, but even then, like, I think it makes sense in the sense that your father left, so you had to pick up the slack and be there for your mother. That's not necessarily a bad thing, especially if you've been doing that for your entire life. I'm not saying that this is who I identify as, but I think in general, if your father left their household, you're going to have to pick up some slack.
Yeah, I guess that's why this is on the list of signs of father issues.
That's kind of
Hey,
bullshit.
Edwin, you can justify your daddy issues all you want, but it still means you have daddy issues, all right?
No, that's
Yeah,
I'm not.
You're describing perfectly why this is a father issue.
Dude, I'm not identifying with it.
I'm
or
not saying you
anything.
are. I'm just saying.
I'm just giving it validity.
I'm not
Like,
saying
it's
you
valid.
are. I'm just saying you fall into this category. That's all I'm saying.
Fuck your couch.
The next one, you're disrespectful. Damn, that's crazy. Because you just damn. All right, so
Yeah, fuck your couch,
Edwin's-
Frantic.
you
Edwin's
don't
2 for 3.
you
Fuck
don't mean
your
to be
couch.
rude and disrespectful, but you just are. You just don't have a clue how to show respect because it's your world and only your feelings matter.
Whoa. Yeah.
Damn.
That ain't me. That ain't me.
No, I feel like
Boom.
I'm very respectful, even to those that don't
Verbatim.
deserve it.
Yeah.
So Jeff doesn't have daddy issue. You know what? We're gonna find one. We're gonna find one here.
We gonna get him.
Next one, you're commitment phobic. So you learned early in life not to rely on people. They were always unreliable. They always let you down.
Ah,
And
shit, dude. I said
wounded
that.
you.
I said that word for word last podcast.
Yeah, you did. I remember that.
Sheesh. Dad? Where are you, Dad?
Daddy. Wait, hold on. I
have
said
this
that
one as
word
well.
for I said that word for word, but if your dad leaves, that's like the first motherfucker who let you down.
So to avoid being hurt again, you avoid making commitments. When a woman starts falling for you, you panic and ghost them or sabotage your relationship.
Dude, that used to be me. Holy shit. I just disappear.
The daddy issues are strong with this one. What do you think, Jeff?
I see it. I can sense it.
Nah, that legit used to be me. Like all of college and high school, I used to think, man, girls don't want to date me. God. And I'd be like super self-pity and shit. And it turns out that when things got real, I would just disappear on them. And I've been called out a couple times. It's like, hey man, like you just fucking left me. And I was like, what do you mean?
It's my world, and I'm just you're
in my head, I had rationalized that they didn't like me or anything, and they were like, "Dude, you just fucking bailed on me. You expect me to be friends with you?" And I was like, "Oh, you're right." So, yeah, I came to realize that was me in like early college and late high school. So, damn, it ain't like that anymore, but it used to be.
You've overcome your daddy issues, Edwin?
Yep, I am fixed.
All right, next one. You are unaffectionate and very emotionally unavailable. You never received loving physical touch as a child, and you were just not touched at all, really. Unless it was to get the crap beat out of you. So showing affection by touching someone just doesn't come naturally, and it just feels awkward. I don't think this one applies all that much.
No, I touch
No.
everybody.
We're huggers in the squad.
Whoa, hey, yo.
Yeah, not like that. Hey, don't say it like that.
Hey.
No, I'm a hugger.
Hey,
I'm a
What
hugger,
the-
dude. Oh my god. God damn, dude.
Yo,
can't-
you don't gotta
I-
say it like that, though.
I quit this podcast, man.
This is an intervention, Edwin.
No, I just I'm very physical. Let's just leave it at that.
Jeff, are you physical? Do you like touching everyone?
We're huggers in the squad, dude.
Or huggers? Okay.
Yeah, you
Well,
see the homie, you got to give him a hug.
I agree.
But we do the half hug, with the handshake into the hug.
I go
mm.
full hug, dude. I go in there.
All right.
We're huggers, dude. Doesn't apply.
No, okay. So then
Just say it,
next
bitch.
Yeah, does it apply to you,
Fucking say
Franny?
it.
Are you trying to come
Fucking
out?
Me,
fucking say it.
no.
Are the daddy issues coming out right now, Franny?
No, dude. I am. One of my love languages is touch, guys. So, like, I just with my partners, I like, to get a little some sugar there. I like that.
You're
I
just
like that.
being a fucking Felix, bro.
Hey, it is what it is. Actually, my love language is actually words of affirmation.
Wow.
Like, I know my partner, for example, my current girlfriend. I know that she loves me, but I like hearing her say it to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cute.
Yeah. But maybe that's a episode for another time. Our love languages.
I'm a giver. I like giving.
Oh, that's a good one. It's a good one. Jeff, would you like to share your love language?
No.
All right.
I think that would be funnier.
This is the last one right here on this list. You're irresponsible and extremely defensive. So it seems like you're never able to figure out how to do things right. It seems like the rules always change and you're always in the wrong. Rather than being blamed for things going wrong, you basically just blame other people.
No. I feel like I own my mistakes.
You own your mistakes. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I have daddy issues, dude. Aside from the fact that I did recite one of them word for word last podcast, I think I'm fixed, dude. I'm cured.
You're cured? Well, I guess, maybe we should have gone through this, our origin stories before we got through the questions, but, where are we coming from? I guess I'll start with myself. My parents divorced when I was a very young lad. I was 5 years old, if I recall, when my parents separated. So, in terms of my origin story, my mom eventually remarried, which was nice because my stepdad's dope. But before then, I was basically thrust as the man of the house, and so my origin story was basically kind of like the boys at school kind of molded me, and then my mom would kind of teach me what's right and what's wrong, and from there I had to figure it out. I think at the end of the day, in retrospect, what motivated me to be a good quote unquote man and just a person in general was that I had two younger brothers, and once they turned 18, I was like, okay, I don't have to be a role model anymore. But up until then, it was like, okay, I got to make sure I do everything good at school. Got to make sure I include them in things and make sure that they don't feel lonely. Like, I guess I kind of took on that father role in a sense, but I didn't take care of them the way a dad would. I kind of just took care of them the way that I thought was most helpful for them.
Damn, that's nice. I didn't know we were going to get this deep, dude.
This is an intervention, dude. We got to talk about our daddy issues.
I didn't grow up with a dad or anything. I just never had a dad. The Holy Spirit impregnates your mom and then leaves. And, yeah, I grew up kind of in a foster home and came back to my family and, yeah, never had a dad. So it was just like I was the man of the house. I would take care of my sister every day. My mom would be working, so it was just me and my sister for the majority of the time. And yeah, it was just like you kind of have to grow up really fast and a lot of maturity and stuff. I never really jived with kids my age because while they were fucking around, I would see it as them just fucking around, and all that stuff wasn't of worth or value to me, because I had other responsibilities. I had to be a grown kid, you
Mhm.
know. So luckily I met people who were like-minded, you know. They didn't really like, I've always liked video games and stuff, but it was always just like partying, all that other frivolous stuff never really appealed to me,
Mhm.
because even as a kid I was like, yo, I seen what alcohol does to people, you know. I seen what it did to my mom's second relationship, you know, with my sister's dad. You know, he was pretty alcoholic and kind of destroyed that dynamic, destroyed everything, kind of blew it up. And yeah, just all that stuff never sat well with me. So yeah, it's just one of those things that it is made me who I am. Even today, I have a pretty high moral compass where I'm like, I don't know, I guess I'm a fucking prude. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah,
Lame.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Something I've I mean, we've been friends for like over 10 years now, and something I've never asked, and I don't really need like details or anything, but during your time in foster care, do you feel like any of that time shaped you at all, or?
Oh, definitely. It really did. I mean, I think I've mentioned it before where I used to cry every single day until I hit high school. I would come home and cry about everything. And I was a really sad kid.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
I
So,
I cried up until middle school, really. I think it was until my mom met my stepdad that I stopped crying every day. It's pressure, dude.
yeah, it's a lot of
Fucking
I mean,
pressure.
it's a lot of work having to grow up for your siblings. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, you had your mom and your sister, which is, I don't have any sisters, and like my mom is, a strong woman, so I guess I was lucky in that sense, but
But even as like the only English speaking person in the house, you know, all of the decisions that required schooling, or like for school, for bills, for everything went through me. And all of the advice for household stuff went through me. So it was just like my mom provided the money and I did what needed to be done with that money. So
so who did you bounce ideas off of? Your mom?
yeah, we'd just talk about it and I'm like, this is what's happening, and yeah. Or just look stuff up.
Cool.
So I still don't know how the world works, but I did my best.
Not too bad of a job, man.
What about you, Jeff? What's up?
Let's hear the Jeffrey Mauricio
The origin
origin
story?
story.
Man, it is completely different from your guys's. I can say that much. I am the youngest of two. My mother was a stay-at-home mom, pretty much my whole life. My dad, he worked. He's still working. He's worked his whole life, so that's that. And yeah, I mean, I had a stereotypical Mexican household where the dad worked the whole day and I had a mom at home to take care of me.
Was
Yeah,
there
so I don't
I
really
mean,
have father issues. Well,
was there alcohol issues in your household? You feel free not to answer that.
no, I mean, my dad's Mexican, right? So he'll have like one or two beers with dinner, and then that's it. I don't know. Do you think that's an alcoholic issue?
No, the alcoholic issue would come from like you get too
Excessive.
sloshed.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
I've
gets
only ever
home
seen
with
my
a tall can
my
in
dad
hand,
sloshed at like quinceañeras or like
but it's
parties.
okay to be kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where it's okay to be sloshed, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I will say that the downside was that, like I said, my dad worked all day, so I didn't really see him a lot.
So you had a little bit of the scenario where not so much like completely absent, but
Partially, yeah.
partially. Do you feel like he? I mean, you had your dad at home when he was there, and did he ever kind of impart any like life knowledge on you, or Or you guys just don't have communication?
That's kind of tricky to say because I feel like, so as a child, right? I tried to be attached to my dad's hip, and he
Okay.
kind of just pushed me away a little bit because he was trying to work on stuff and do stuff, and I'd be in his way. You know, obviously I didn't know that as a kid, but I would be in his way. So he kind of be like,
Mhm.
"Hey, you know, I'm trying to do this over here." So I guess there was some resentment for that. And then, you know, now as I grow older and I can help him, I don't really help him when I can, you know. I mean, if it's big enough, yeah, obviously I'll lend a hand, and
Yeah.
we've worked on things together. But you know, if it's something small, I'm just like, he can do it himself.
He is pretty handy. I will give him that. He's like all our friend group. I feel like he's like the most like good with like just knowing how shit works.
I don't know how to. I think my dad is the smartest person I know,
Wow.
and this is not because he had a formal education or anything. Because I think he dropped out of elementary school to work in the rancho with his family. But man, he can learn a skill and pick it up very quickly. He knows how to do electrical work on the house. He wired lamps, lights. He did the whole wiring job in the back room. He knows how to put up drywall, how to do tiling on the roof, tiling on the floor. He can take apart an engine and put it back together.
He's really impressive for
Yeah,
sure. I
dude,
mean,
that's-
we've met him, we've seen him work, you know, all these years, and dude's super impressive. I mean, I don't know about emotionally available. I don't really. I haven't seen that connection or anything. So, but would you say he's emotionally available?
We kind of stay
Do
away
you-
from that. We have the stereotypical father-son relationship where all we do is talk about sports.
So y'all have never like cried on each other's shoulders?
No. No.
Have you ever seen your father cry, Jeff?
Twice.
It's probably like a death in the family. No.
Yes. Once,
Yeah.
yes. The second time, I don't know. It was weird. We were at church and I just looked up at my dad and he was crying and I was like, what the fuck? I don't know.
Hey man,
That
it's-
image is stained on me though. I'm like, what the hell? It was the weirdest shit ever.
he was really into his prayers that day, I guess.
Maybe so, yeah. So I'd like to give a shout out to baseball. I feel like that's the only connection me and my dad really had growing up. He took me to a Dodger game. He took the whole family to a Dodger game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And man, I left that game loving the sport. Like I loved the sport. I was like, Dad, we gotta go. We gotta come back. We gotta see it on TV. And he's like, yeah. And he bought me a glove shortly after. And then like whenever he would come home from work, he would make the time to play catch with me.
So I wonder if your love for baseball was kind of like it grew because you knew it was something your dad liked and you wanted to have something with your dad.
Yeah, man. I think you hit the nail on the head. That you know the expression.
Damn, we're a little bit shaken today. We're a little tilted, but not stirred.
Wait, what?
But-
what do you mean?
I don't know.
You
like
want to
when
be
I was
upset about this? We can
No,
get
when
upset.
No. When I was talking, I was also a little bit shaken, thinking about all this stuff. I didn't think we were gonna get this deep, and I felt it in Jeff's
Yeah,
voice
because
right
it's a
now.
lot to take in. You know, you're trying to reflect.
Yeah, you're trying to make there's connections going on in your head that you can't just outwardly say sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
it's just
We-
like fuck.
We have been very, very lucky that we all met each other. And like we have other friends as well, but I'm just gonna talk about us three. We have spent many late nights at Jeff's place, and we just sure a lot of it was gaming, but a lot of it was just kind of just shooting the shit and talking about a lot of deeper, not just surface level crap, but like a lot of the stuff that really is going on either within our lives or like how we actually feel about things. And not a whole lot of guys get that.
Well, I mean, I don't speak in my family. There's no one that knows the inner machinations of like my emotions. Like if you were to talk to my mom and ask her about me, she says I'm very quiet and I stay reserved in my room. That I'm always in my room and I'm always quiet. That's not how people know me. I'm not quiet. In high school, I was second place for most outspoken.
I was second place for most shy.
So it's kind of like, yeah, people don't know me as a quiet person, but you come home, I come home and I'm, like my mom's like, I barely notice he's there. And my friends are the people who I talk to about my emotions, my feelings, shit that's got me down, something's wrong. I'll come to my friends. And it's kind of, I don't know if that's a byproduct of how I grew up, but it's kind of, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like I'm the same. You described me to a T, because that's how my whole family saw me. They're like, "Oh man, he's so quiet. He never says anything." But like to my cousins, I would always talk to them. Whenever I hang out with my cousins, all we do is talk. I talk a lot with them. But yeah, the rest of the family just sees me as this quiet, reserved person.
That's kind of weird, huh?
I mean, they're not wrong. I am quiet and reserved. Like I said, I was voted most shy in high school. That was very fun to campaign for.
He just doesn't say anything about it.
No, sometimes I would, and they'd be like, "What the fuck?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, do it. Vote for me."
It's like, yo, what the? You speak?
Who is this kid?
Yeah. Yeah, going back to like my point of that we have an incredible support group, and there's many people, especially, and you see them online, because these are and I don't want to make assumptions, but a lot of these people that be making the craziest comments online, it's like, man, like, who hurt you? I'm sorry your parents didn't hug you enough. Like, some people, I feel like they really needed some love in their life because of just the way that they are, or like the kind of shit that they say online.
But even then, there's people that come from very privileged positions of having their entire families and shit, and they still end up assholes.
Sure.
We can't just I mean, we can't just be like, who hurt you, who didn't love you enough, because that's all of us. We didn't end up fucking talking shit to anyone who, like, put something out there on the internet.
Not everyone handles abuse the same way, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
Some people lash out.
Sure.
Like, there was this kid I knew. We were really good friends growing up. And yeah, he wasn't the smartest kid. And he flunked a year. So that's when I stopped kind of like keeping in touch with him. But nowadays, man, he's in and out of jail. He's a dope fiend. Drug addict. He fucking goes around robbing shit. And I think he's in jail right now. I'm not too sure. But yeah, like, this kid his mom is there, his dad is there. So it's like,
it's funny because
we don't know what happened.
Go ahead.
We don't know what happened in his home life. But like you said, his family was there.
It's quite hilarious to me. When I came from Washington, I used to be like a little Poindexter. I spoke super properly. I used huge words. It was like, that's who I was because I read so much. I spent every single waking moment reading. I would get grounded for reading. My books would be taken away.
Damn, Matilda.
That's how crazy it was, right? So when I came down here, it was like I had to stop talking that way immediately, right? Because, I was hanging out with like brown people, black people who weren't up in Washington in my upbringing, right? So I made friends with the bullies. It was really weird. They all took to me, and I had to stop speaking the way I did. But the bullies and I had a lot in common in the fact that they didn't have traditional families. They just didn't. Mm-hmm. So me and the bullies would hang out, but we would just talk about like life and shit. but to everybody else, they were just a bunch of assholes to everyone. And it was one of those things that they were my friends and I loved them, but they early on taught me about like the duality of people. You know, to some people you're the world to them, and then to others you ain't shit to, right? And it's something that I learned very early on with those kids that, you know, frankly did end up in prison, did all this other bullshit, right? But to me they were just the greatest friends I could have at that time.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like in terms of friends and peers, it wasn't until high school where I really met, like once I met all of you, was when I finally had that strong, like all male support system. Because before then I was just like very quiet, just very to myself, and I would find myself in like and this was like not in like oh, I'm the man type of thing. It was like I would sit at tables where there was like only girls, and I felt comfortable sitting with like all girls because like I don't know, maybe it's because my mom was my best friend at the time that it was just so cool and like like natural to just be sitting with a bunch of girls, even though a lot of the stuff that they would say I would like not really relate all that much to. But it wasn't until I got to high school where I got that all male support group, and I'm like, dude, this is dope. Like I can talk about my issues.
Yeah. I mean, we did spend a lot of time sleeping over at each other's house.
Yeah.
You know, during high school. It was either I would never go home or you wouldn't go home, or we'd just fucking not sleep and then go to school.
Those were wild days, man. I mean, I do that kind of stuff now, or maybe like when I was in college, I did that stuff, but it was, there was no need for us to be doing that in high school.
Yeah, there really
You
was.
really
Actually, we were overworked in high school, you know, with the AP packet bullshit.
Maybe.
But
Nah,
whatever.
you guys did it wrong, dude. You should have just been playing Call of Duty till 6 in the morning like I was with the rest of the squad.
Yeah, y'all were up for different reasons. Edwin and I we're nerds.
Yeah, we were stuck with packets of homework.
Wait, you guys were doing homework half the day? Damn, that sucks.
We'd do homework
It was
until
quite
like
a bit
3,
of homework. Yeah,
3 or 4 a.m.
Looking back is like, yeah, that was the most homework I've ever done in my life.
Damn.
Yeah, we would entirely just, you know, we'd play Rock Band here and there, go do homework, Rock Band, homework, and then they're like, "Oh shit, I never went home." Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, what do you guys feel? And we're not going to have enough time to fully address this. But what do you guys think it is to be a man?
You want to go first, Jeff?
I'm trying to think of it.
Okay. Well, I mean, to me, to be a man is to be able to make the people in your life happy, regardless of who they are. I think I gained very, like, we were men who were taught to be men by women, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that if my girlfriend is happy with me, that means the world to me. I don't give a shit what anybody else thinks of me as a man. The only one that matters to me and how they feel about me as a man is my girlfriend. You know, and my mother who, you know, raised me and put all this, like, I'm her investment, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can't repay being a good human being to her, then I failed as a man.
Well, what I learned from my father through observation is to just work really hard to give your family the life that you wanted or that you never had. You know, just be as supportive as you can, even if it means working 12 hours a day and sleeping the rest of the day, the rest of the time you're here.
Yeah, I have a bit of a traditional view of what it is to be a man. Very similar to kind of what Jeff was saying, where as a man you're kind of looked to as a provider and as a basically as like the rock or the foundation of any relationship, really, because it doesn't just have to be a family. Just even in your friendships, and like I feel like one of the things that to be a man is like you have to be dependable and you have to be someone that's there that can provide support to people when they need it. But it's not to say that if you can't support someone that you're not a man, because then that's kind of like when the definition kind of starts losing its legs a little bit.
Yeah, like what if your girlfriend makes more than you do? Are you not a man now?
Right. So like I have to, over time I've had to broaden a little bit, like, okay, well, what is it really that means to be a man? Because we're no longer living in traditional times.
I mean, it's just like I said, it's just being supportive. Any way you can. It doesn't have to be monetary.
Yeah, be a good dude, man.
Be a star in your role.
Exactly.
You
Whatever
gotta,
that role is,
you gotta
dude.
go in. You gotta execute.
Hey, you gotta execute, man.
Yeah.
Be under pressure and still make that layup, bro.
It's hard.
I mean, being a man, I was never a man by traditional sense. I mean, I spent fucking years of my life crying. That's not what men do, you know?
It's what they can do now, man. And I mean, it's been a bit of a national conversation, at least online it has been, where where men can be just more open, like literally that's it, like just more open and able to share their weakness, because that's like one of the biggest things before traditionally of what it is to be a man is to show no weakness to your family, because one of the biggest things was, in order to be a provider, you can't, the minute you showed weakness is you showing your family that that you might not be able to provide in certain situations because you lack, or because you're afraid, or because et cetera, et cetera. And last thing you want is to like build a family and then, because you're too emotional, let's say, that they don't respect you anymore.
I mean, I have a story for this very occasion, actually. So I think it was 3-4 years ago that my grandfather passed away. And man, I remember going to the hospital and just feeling like, holy shit. Like the weight of the world was on my shoulders, and I held it all back, dude. I didn't show any fucking emotion until I got home, and I just laid in my bed. And even then, I waited for my dad to go to work. And then I just cried for the rest of the night. But I showed no emotion in front of my family. Like, none at all.
I think in certain situations it is beneficial to be like I aspire to be the person who doesn't cry at a funeral. And it's not because I want to be emotionless, it's because I want to be there to help others. But yeah, like just being able to go home and just let it all out at the end there, I think it's necessary, dude, because, man.
Actually, I don't know about like repressing your emotions, bro. Like that's not.
I know it's not healthy, obviously.
Yeah. No, but like, do you want to be in shambles crying at the hospital or at the funeral? Or do you want to be the one
everyone
that's
else
like,
is doing that, dude?
Or do you want to be the shoulder that people can cry on, and like you'll hug them and you'll console them, and then you'll later take care of your emotional needs?
With who? By yourself?
Sure, or do it with your partner, or do it with, like Jeff could have done it with his dad at home if that's what Jeff wanted to do.
I mean, so I guess I have a story for this too, where my sister's dad wouldn't ever say what he was feeling until he got drunk. When he got drunk, it all came out. tears, the pain. You know, he supported my sister and like, you know, everybody in his family, and then also supported, you know, my sister's uncle's family, right? So he would support so many people, give so much money out to other people, and when he would get drunk, he's like, I don't get a single thanks. Like, I don't feel appreciated. And like, that was one of those times where I was just like, holy shit. Like, he works all day, comes home, and we all call him a drunk. That he's a fucking drunk and he's tearing the family apart. You know, but this one time he was just very quiet. He was just very quiet. He wasn't being his boisterous self when he was drunk. He wouldn't come and abuse anybody, but he'd just talk shit the entire time, right? And this time he was just quiet, and I'm like, yo, what's good? You know, went up to him, you all right? And he just said, hey, I don't feel appreciated. Like, I do all this work for everybody else. No one ever checks in on me. And it was like, I don't know, it was one of those things that I realized why he drank. Because he was finally able to say the things he wanted to say. You know, it's really fucking fucked up when I realized that. There's a reason why I don't drink. You know, just seeing how his life was dependent on drinking. I don't drink at all for that reason. It's just one of those things. But, yeah, just be able to say what you need to say when you have to say it. It's liberating. It just, you know, it's not about being a man. It's about being you. And whoever that may be.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot. I mean, I guess we concluded that I don't have as much daddy issues as
Oh no, you got daddy
checklist.
issues, bro. You're
I
gone.
was trying to get out of it, dude.
You're
Fuck.
too far gone.
God
Jeff
damn
is
it.
on the fence. I'm not sure. Jeff is.
I'm skirting by.
Yeah. But
I do cry at the end of movies, though. Some movies. It's fun.
oh, that's fine. That's not daddy.
Like when
issues.
Iron Man died. Oof. That got me, bro.
Was it because you saw him as a father?
No, it's because it's really sad, dude. He sacrificed himself.
It's because
Saved
Robert
the
Downey.
world.
Is it because Robert Downey Jr. is a daddy, bro?
Is your Iron Daddy?
I don't know. I don't cry in real life situations. I cry in movies though. I fucking bawl in movies. I have a story of when Toy Story 3 came out. I'm a huge Toy Story fan. I grew up with the VHS. That was the only thing that was mine. And Toy Story's always had a huge like I have a lot of time for Toy Story. So Toy Story 3 came out. I hadn't seen it. That shit was crazy, so I bought it. And I came home and I was like, dude, I'm gonna make the best of this. So I sat down, you know, turned off all the lights. I got all my snacks ready or whatever, and I was just gonna watch it. You know, single as fuck at the time. It was just me. I'm watching the movie. It gets to the real sad part. I don't know, the incinerator part, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like watching, you know, edge of my seat, just fucking watching this by myself. Shit is fucking, it's hilarious. It's Toy Story 3, whatever, right? But I'm fucking there. I'm in. And then I hear something that scares the shit out of me. Like, oh, what the fuck was that? You know, I hear something goes like this, right? And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck was that? So I start looking around and like, I'm by myself. I'm literally by myself in my house. So I heard this thing just fucking gasp for air. And I realized that I'm fucking bawling And that I was the
you.
one that made that sound.
It was me all along.
It was me, and I scared the shit out of myself.
Well, if nothing else, before we continue to drag this on any further, guess we'll end the episode here. Maybe we can continue this some other time if you guys are down for this topic again.
Sure. Why not?
Sure, we could come back to Daddy Issues Part 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
We'll call it Zaddy Issues.
Zaddy issues? Oh, that ain't an issue. Let me tell you.
So that brings us to the end of our episode.
Yeah. You guys got any final thoughts for the folks at home?
I don't know. I said it already. Just be you. Even if that's not a man. Even if whatever the fuck twisted definitions of what a man is, you should never base yourself on those. Like, I'm definitely not a car guy. I don't know shit about cars. That's one of the things that a lot of people quantify as being a man. Being a man is someone who knows how to fix shit around the house. You know, I've always been technically oriented, but not. I don't know. It's just kind of. I don't know what I don't know. I wouldn't know how to build a house. You know, like Jeff's dad.
I got a guy for that. Yeah, I got a guy.
Yeah, like Jeff's dad.
It's a wonderful time to be alive if you're confused as to what it is to be a man or all that stuff, because nowadays there just isn't really a definition for it anymore. So you get to write it yourself. Yeah. And a lot of people are generally okay with that. There's still going to be those that are going to hold on to the traditional sense of what it is, but you know, at the end of the day, as long if you ain't living with them, then I don't really see how their opinions can really. They shouldn't shape you to that extent.
Be you, King.
Yeah, and guess final thoughts for me is a lot of this like daddy issue stuff. I feel like it really revolved around like love and not being either not receiving enough of it or being unable to reciprocate it or share it with others. So I feel like at the end of the day, if you do have daddy issues and if your parents, like in Edwin and I's, in our situations where they weren't there or they weren't there during our formative years at least, I think at the end of the day, whether you feel like you did a good job of bringing yourself up or not, I think at the end of the day, you should really try to just appreciate yourself and love yourself. And I think that once you have that nailed down, I think that's when you'll be able to truly be able to figure out like, okay, exactly who am I? Maybe both those things happen at the same time, actually. Maybe once you love yourself is when you realize who you are. I don't know.
I mean, you could realize who you are and not love yourself, you know? You can be like, oh, shit, I am a piece of shit.
I'm a monster.
It was me all along.
It was me all along. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely think, I mean, that's well put, Frederick, but I definitely think that just as long as you're happy with who you are, don't try to form yourself. I mean, you can take inspiration from some people, right? But don't be somebody else. Don't be somebody else's idea of what you should be. Just kind of take bits and pieces of what inspires you. Yep. And break cycles. Break cycles, because I mean, shit, you don't want to be the reason why somebody makes a podcast about daddy issues along the line.
Jeff, you have a final thought so that we can send this off into the sunset?
Just try to be better. Even if you had a great family life, just try to be better.
Be better. All right.
You can reach us at our website, tiltednotstirred.com, or at our Instagram. You can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube.
Remember to join us to share your questions and voice your thoughts on what has you tilted, not stirred.
See you.
That was the longest episode yet. And it was about somebody who wasn't even there. Jesus.
Daddy wasn't there to change my underwear, to take me to the fair.